Yeah, I had a chance to hear some very strong arguments from Dr. Ken Hovind from Pensacola, Florida, for a younger understanding. And I recall by watching some of your lectures and some of your videos, you briefly mentioning that such an understanding would be not very plausible, but I never really got you to hear what would be your arguments for a old Earth.
Okay. Again, the question of the age of the universe is one on which Christians differ. There is a very tiny minority of Christians today who believe that the world was created some 10 to 20,000 years ago. Obviously, from what I've said this evening, I don't agree with that. I had the pleasure today of visiting the Long Hall in Trinity College and having my picture taken next to the bust of Archbishop Usher, who calculated the creation of the world in 4004 BC, as you may know. I think that that was a huge mistake. I think that the book of Genesis is open to a wide range of legitimate interpretations, and that thinking of it as a consecutive week of 24-hour days a few thousand years ago, while one legitimate interpretation is not one that is forced upon Christians. And so I would say that there are hints in the text itself that a 7-day, 24-hour day creation week is not contemplated by the author. For example, the 7th day is clearly not a 24-hour period of time, because we're still in the 7th day, the day of God's Sabbath rest. Moreover, notice how God creates the vegetation and the fruit trees on day 3. God says, he doesn't say, let there be fruit trees, let there be vegetation, and it was so. No, the text says, and God said, let the earth bring forth vegetation, bearing seed after its kind, and fruit trees bearing fruit after its kind. And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation bearing seed after its kind, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind. Now, unless you think that the author contemplated a process that looks like a film being run on fast forward, where the tree sprouts out of the ground and grows up and sprouts out apples and they pop out all over it, so that this happens in 24 hours, this must have been a long period of time in which these trees and vegetation would grow and flower and mature and finally produce fruit. And I find it hard to believe that the author of Genesis 1 was thinking of this narrative as being like a film run on time-lapse photography. So that would be just one other indication in the text itself that suggests we're not thinking here of literal consecutive 24-hour days. And there are others as well. I discussed this in my Defender's lectures on doctrine of creation. We have a long excursus on creation and evolution. If you're interested, that's on the website as well.